Sergey Gurylev of the Soviet Union, who is 6th right now through 3 dives.
And the Soviets this year in international competition have brought different divers into each of the events. They're testing out a number of young divers. That was a great entry, but he was short of vertical. His body was not straight when he hit the pool. The judges will take off for that.
How much do they take off for something like that?
Well, they'll probably take off 2 or 3 points. The entry certainly adds something because the entry is virtually perfect with no splash. You can see scores of 7, 7.5. They're good scores and indicates a good dive, but it will leave him substantially behind the leaders. It's a little warm pool where they...
Sergey Gurylev of the Soviet Union.
This is the same dive we just saw. Not nearly as high a jump. He over-rotates the finish. That won't reach the good scoring level. That won't make 7s.
That was a difficulty factor of 3.0.
Well, you talk about the 3.0 degree of difficulty. Each of the dives have a rating. The judges themselves just judge the performance of the dive. They throw out the high and low scores, add the ones in the middle, and multiply by the degree of difficulty.
And now Bruce Kimball.
What do I have to think about on the next one?
Gurylev of the Soviet Union. High DD here, degree of difficulty 3.4.
We just saw Tong Wei do reverse 2.5 somersaults. This is reverse 3.5 somersaults. This is the dive that one of the Soviet divers at the World University Games hit his head on the platform and died. You can see that's a lot of dive to get in just a little over 2 seconds, and he just about made it. 3.5 somersaults, just not quite making 3.5 before he hits the pool.
Low marks for Gurylev of the Soviet Union.
But with that high a degree of difficulty,
he's diving coach only since April. What a performance by his team here in Madrid. Gurylev of the Soviet Union.
And he had a tough act to follow. That was the exact same dive. It was 1.5 somersaults backwards with 3.5 twists. And he just over-rotates the somersault. And is actually a little bit off angle.
Dives like that, point totals like that, hurt you in this point of a competition.
When the top divers are doing great dives, you have to do a great dive to just keep up with them.
It looks like he'll be eliminated from medal contention. Gurylev of the Soviet Union now.
And he's doing the same dive. This has got to scare him knowing what just happened. You can hear the crowd still hasn't settled down from that, and now they see another handstand coming up. A lot of hesitation there. Oh, and not a good dive. The divers must come up in that arm stand and show control. They have to show that stop position. There's no fixed time, but you've got to show control. He really didn't quite stop, and he certainly lets go of the rotation too soon. A lot of splash.
So the door is now open for Bruce Kimball.
This is where you can't take a break because they're doing the most difficult dives that can be done off the platform.
Now Gurylev also missed in the last round.
And he's doing the same dive Tong Wei did again. It's an inward 3.5 somersaults. And it looked like a replay of Tong Wei's dive. Again, just a little bit short of vertical, a little bit back away from the platform. You see he falls back just a little bit, and he's not completely straight when he hits. You have to be completely straight. So it's a good dive. It's right on that verge, that edge of 7 to 7.5, which makes it a good dive, but certainly not a great dive.
Dive told the story for him here. Now Gurylev in 8th place. He has slipped.
Well, the Soviets have brought a young team to these championships, and they've experimented bringing different divers throughout the international competitions this year, and they still haven't found their man or their woman yet. That was the same dive Tong Hui did, and considerably better. You could see he was able to finish all 3.5 rotations before he hit the pool.
Well, a good finish for Gurylev. And as you mentioned, the Soviets still searching really for their diving answers, and perhaps this is one of their answers for the future. Now Bruce Kimball.